Today's final Friday Happy Math Hour. Today we're going to cover the final exam review. I have about 20 to 25 questions that I'm going to cover. Okay, that's some of these I actually do assign on my exam. Okay, but these are the topics that I will cover: linear equations, quadratic equations, applications on linear and quadratic functions, exponential functions, application on exponential functions, solving exponential problems, finance applications, solving systems of equations, matrices, sets and Venn diagrams, probabilities, and permutation and combinations. So let's first start with linear equations. Number one states, find the equation of a line passing through the point negative 2, 5 and negative 4, 6. Okay, here guys, we need to find the equation in slope-intercept form, which is y equals to mx plus b. So we need to find the m, which is a slope, and the y-intercept, which is a b. Okay, this is my slope formula. It's m equals to y sub 2 minus y sub 1 divided by x sub 2 minus x sub 1. And the y-intercept is equal to b equals to y minus mx. Okay, now, so I'm going to call this first point, the negative 2, 5, b.1, and the negative 4, 6, b.2. So my x1 is negative 2, my x2 is negative 4, my y1 is 5, and my y2 is 6. So I'll just plug it into the formula. We're going to have 6 minus 5 divided by negative 4 minus negative 2. The answer will be negative 1/2. So I found my m, my slope. Now the next part, I need to find my b, which is the y-intercept. You can choose either point, the first or the second. Okay, I'm going to choose the first one. So my x will be the negative 2, and my y will be my 5. So I'm going to plug him into the formula. So I have b equals to 5 minus negative 1/2 times negative 2. This will give us 4, because here, guys, negative 1/2 times negative 2 will give us positive 1. But because it is negative, it will be 5 minus 1, which will give us 4. So all I do is plug in the m, the negative 1/2 for m, and 4 for b, and that's my equation. Let me go back real quick. So my answer will be y equals to negative 1/2 x plus 4. Now number 2 is find the difference quotient. This problem number 2, you're going to see it again in the next math class, the 1325, which is a business calculus. This is the beginning of finding derivatives. Okay, so the solution, first I need to find the f of x plus h. So that means that I'm going to plug in x plus h for every x. Right, so I'm going to plug it in here, which is the x plus h, and also where the x is. Now, x plus h, I'm going to simplify it here on the side. X plus h squared, I'm going to simplify it, which means x plus h times x plus h will give us x squared, because x times x will give us x squared, x times h will give us xh, and then h times x will give us xh, and h times h will give us h squared. So we have x squared plus 2xh plus h squared. Now here I'm going to distribute the negative sign. That negative times nx will give us negative x. Okay, I do it here. So it'll be negative x minus h plus 4. So none of these terms can be simplified or can be because they're not like terms. So this is the first step, finding the f of x plus h. Now my second step is finding the f of x plus h minus f of x. If you notice, it's going to be my numerator. So I already know what the f of x plus h is. All right, I just found that. Now minus my f of x is minus my original function, which is x squared minus x plus 4. Now here, guys, right? So I just bring the f of x plus h down, and here with a minus, it's going to be like negative 1 times x. X squared will give us negative x squared. Negative 1 times negative x will give us a positive x. And finally, negative 1 times positive 4 will give us a negative 4. Now here we get to combine terms. like terms. Like I tell my students, like a heads up, every term that doesn't have an h will be eliminated. Okay, that's how you can check your work. For example, x squared, right? It doesn't have an h, so somewhere it's going to be eliminated, and here it is at the towards the end. The 2xh has an h, so it stays. The h squared has an h, so it stays. And what does it stay? Because there's no other like terms that I can combine it with. The negative x, right, is going to be a positive x somewhere, and here it is. So that one cancels with the one here towards the end. That h stays, and the 4 cancels with a negative 4. So what's left over is a 2xh plus h squared minus h. Now comes step number 3. But before we do step number 3, I'm going to factor out an h. Why do I do that? Because this way it'll cancel with the h in the denominator right here at the original formula. But anyway, this is my f of x plus h minus f of x with h factored out. Now comes the third step. So here the h's cancel. Right, so we have 2x plus h minus 1 is my solution. So this is my solution, 2x plus h minus 1 is my answer. Now number 3. The manufacturer suggested a retail price, which is called the MSRP for a new Toyota Prius, is $25,035. And it is expected to be worth $14,115 in 4 years. So here they want 3 parts. A part, they want you to find a linear depreciation function for this car. And then B, they want you to estimate the value of the car in 5 years from now. And C, at what rate is the car depreciating? So for part A, we have to find the function and y equals to mx plus b. Right, so we need to get 2 points. The first point is when the car is brand new, right? It hasn't been driven, so it's going to be 0, and that'll be my y. Right, so that point is going to be 0 and 25,035. Now in 4 years, right, it's going to be worth $14,115. So this is my second point. So it's going to be 4 and $14,115. That's my second point. Now we use a formula, right? This is like same thing as problem number 1, but how it relates to a real life applications problem. So again, we have my slope is y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So plug them into the formula. Right, so this is my x1, y1, x2, y2. So it'll be 14,115 minus 25,035 over 4 minus 0. My result will give us negative 2,730. That's my slope. Now I need to find my b. So the b will be y minus mx, and it's easier to use the first point. X is 0 and y is 25,035, and my slope is 2,730. I mean negative 2,730. We plug them in, and we found our b. Our b is $25,035. So we put them together. My slope, my b. So f of x equals to negative 2,730x plus 25,035. That's a solution for A part. Now for B part, estimate the value of the car in 5 years from now. So for B part, all we do is evaluate at f of 5. F of 5 means that I'm going to plug in 5 for the x is. So it'll be negative 2,730 times 5 plus 25,035. And the result is 11,385. So for part B, the car will be worth $11,385 in 5 years. Now for C part, right, it's saying at what rate is a car depreciating? The word depreciating means that that is negative. So this means that, in reality, what is the slope? So the slope is, right, but because it says already negative, we don't have to put the negative. We just say the car is depreciating at $2,730 per year. This is the answer for C part. Okay. Okay, now number 4. It says find the vertex, axis symmetry, y-intercept, and x-intercepts of the function. We have f of x equals to x squared plus 10x plus 9. So solution, right? So to find the vertex, this is the formula for the vertex. Negative b over 2a comma, f of negative b over 2a. This is my x value, the negative b over 2a, and the f of negative b over 2a is my y value. Then for the axial symmetry, right after we find the vertex, the axial symmetry is obvious. It's going to be x equals to whatever the x part of the vertex is, which is x equals to negative b over 2a. Then for the y-intercept, it's also obvious, right? The y-intercept is always 0 and whatever the c value is. So for this one, there's no work required. Just by observation, you should be able to answer or to get the y-intercept. And for the x-intercept, you have to factor. Okay, here we go. Let's start with the vertex first. So I know my a is 1 and my b is 10. So negative b over 2a will give us negative 10 divided by 2 times 1 because my a is 1. Now we simplify. So it's going to be negative b over 2a equals to negative 5. Now I need to find the y part of the vertex. So I'm going to evaluate at f of negative 5, which means I'm going to go back to the original function. I'm going to plug in 5 for the x. I mean negative 5 for the x, and also negative 5 for the x. So it'll be 10 times negative 5. We just put in the calculator, guys, and we get negative 16. So my vertex is negative 5, negative 16. Now, the axial symmetry, right, is the x part of the vertex, but you have to put x because it's an equation or a line. So it's going to be x equals to negative 5. The y-intercept is also visual. It's going to be c. My c here, guys, is going to be my 9, so it's going to be 0, 9. Now for the x-intercepts, we're going to let y equal to 0 and solve for x. We're going to factor. So here is going to be two binomials. The signs are going to be the same because this is positive and they're both going to be positive. So I'm here, guys. I believe the third week of the semester we did a PowerPoint on factoring. If you want, if you don't know how to factor, go back and look at the PowerPoint and we'll show you how to factor. But these are by binomials, x plus 9 and x plus 1. So we let them both equal to 0, and we solve for x. X equals to negative 9, and x equals to negative 1. So these are my x-intercepts. Negative 9, 0, and negative 1, 0. And then more likely, they also want you to graph it, right? But here, I mean, in my exam, I didn't ask them to graph it. So this is what you're looking for. The vertex, axial symmetry, y-intercept, and x-intercept. Now this is in another form, right? This is also a quadratic equation, but this is called in vertex form. So we're here, guys, we're going to try to find the same thing. The vertex, axial symmetry, y-intercept, and the x-intercept. For this one, the vertex is visual because the vertex is going to be HK. I'm doing a promotion. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Someone's at the door. Okay. I apologize for that. Someone was knocking on my door. Okay, now it says find the vertex, axial symmetry, y-intercept, and x-intercept of the function. Okay, now, so like I was saying, the vertex is visual. It's going to be HK. After we get the vertex, right, the axial symmetry is also going to be x equals to h. That's also visual. Now, the y-intercept, we have to solve it by letting x equals 0 and solve for y. And for the x-intercepts, also, we have to let the y equals 0 and solve for x. Okay? So here we go. Let's find the vertex first. The vertex will be this will be, right, it's going to be negative 3. Because the formula is x minus h, so it's going to be x minus negative 3. That's why it's a plus here. Like I tell my students, it's always the opposite sign from here is the x part. And the y part, will be the k just the way it is. So my vertex will be negative 3, comma, negative 16. Now my axial symmetry will be x equals to h, so it'll be x equals to negative 3. Okay, now let's find the y-intercepts. So for the y-intercept, we're gonna let x equal to 0. So we're gonna plug in the 0 where the x is. Right. So this will give us 3 squared minus 16. This will give us 9. 9 minus 16 will give us negative 7. So the y-intercept will be 0, negative 7. Now for the x-intercepts, right, we let y equal to 0. And now we're going to add 16 to both sides of the equal sign. So it'll be 16 equals to x plus 3 close parentheses squared. Now we're going to take the square root of both sides. Right? I just put the right side, I'll put it in the left, and the left side I put it in the right. Because I would like to keep the x's on the left side when I'm solving. So right, so when you take the square root, this will give us plus or minus 16. I mean the square root of plus or minus 16. These right here, they'll be eliminated. So we have x plus 3 equals to plus or minus 4. Now we subtract 3 from both sides. So we have x equals to negative 3 plus or minus 4. So it'll be x negative 3 plus 4 and negative 3 minus 4. This gives us x equals to 1 and x equals to negative 7. So these are my x-intercepts. Negative 7, 0, and 1, 0. Okay. Let's move on to number 6. And here's how we use it like in a real life situation. It says the revenue for McDonald's Corporation in billions of dollars for the years 2010 to 2015 can be approximated by the quadratic function r of x equals to negative 1/2 x squared plus 13x minus 57, where x equals 10 corresponds to the year 2010. So again, this also has 3 parts. For A part, find the vertex. For B part, in what year during this period was the revenue at the maximum? And for C part, what was the maximum revenue to the nearest $1 billion? So guys, once you find the vertex, you also find the answers for B and C. Right? The vertex, the x part of the vertex will be the answer for B, but in years, and the answer for the y part of the vertex will be the answer for C, but in billions of dollars. Okay, let me show you how it's done. So my A will be negative 1/2 or negative 0.5, and my B will be 13. There's my formula, negative B over 2A equals to negative, right, 13 because that's my B, over 2 times negative 0.5 because that's the A is negative 0.5. It will give us 13. Right now, to find the y value of the vertex, all we do is find r of 13, which means we're going to plug in 13 for every x in the original function. This will give us 27.5. That means my vertex is going to be 13, 27.5. That's the answer for A. Okay, 13, 27.5. So for B part, in what year during this period was the revenue at the maximum is going to be the x part of the vertex, since it says here on top, where x equals 10 corresponds to the year 2010, so the answer will be 2013, right? Because x equals 13, so it'll be in 2013 was when the revenue was the maximum. Now for C part, what was the maximum revenue to the nearest billion? It's going to be the y part of the vertex. Round off to the nearest billion is going to be 28 billion. The maximum revenue is 28 billion. Okay, this is the answer. The answers for 6, A, B, and C. Number 7, solve the exponential equation. We have 9 to the x power equals to 27. There's like 2 different ways to solve for this one. I believe for this one, right, we have to make it the same base. The same base, right? There's a rule that says, say you have b to the x equals b to the y. If the same bases are the same, then the exponents must equal to each other. Okay, in this case, if you do 9 squared, it doesn't give you 27, it gives you 81. That means that 9 and 27, there must be a same base that we can simplify them to. For example, the 9 is going to be 3 squared, and the 27 is going to give us 3 cubed. Now they have the same base. So now I go here to my equation. I'm gonna replace 9 with 3 squared, right? And then I'm gonna replace 27 with 3 cubed. Now I apply the exponential power property, the exponent power rule, which means when you have a power to a power, you multiply the powers. So it will give us on the left side 3 to the power of 2x equals to 3 to the third power. Now they have the same base, which means the exponents must equal to each other. So 2x equals to 3. And we do solve for x, divide by 2. So x equals to 3 over 2. And the good thing about these is that you can always check your work. Okay, I'm going to plug in 3 over 2 as an exponent for the x. So 9 to the 3 over 2 power will give us 27. Okay, now you can put this in the calculator or do it by hand. But for now, I'm going to show you how to put it in the calculator. All you do is put 9 to the power, and then it depends on what calculator you have. But the 3 over 2 must be your exponent. So be careful how you plug it in. Again, you're going to put 9 to the power of 3 over 2, and then enter it, and it should give you 27, which means 27 equals to 27. I know that's my correct answer. Okay, now how do exponential functions apply to real life? Here's an example. It says, the assets in billions of dollars for a Prudential Financial Incorporated can be approximated by the function a of x equals to 315 e to the power of 0.056x, where x equals 7 corresponds to the year 2007. Find the assets for the following year. For the year 2000, we can evaluate at a of 0. Right, x0 corresponds to year 2000, so we're going to evaluate a of 0. And for B part, we can evaluate at a of 12. So a of 0 for A part, all we do is plug in 0 for the x's. This will give us 315 e to the 0 power, will be 1. 315 times 1 will give us 315. So the answer right is in billions of dollars, so it will be $315 billion. Okay, now good to know. The 315 is the initial value because time is 0. Okay, when t equals 0, this number here will be my initial value. Now for B part, we're going to be evaluating at a of 12, which means again, I'm going to plug in 12 for the x's. This is going to be 315 e to the power of 0.056 times 12. And that should give us 616.81715575. Round out to our nearest billion will give us did it say round out to our nearest billion? No. So it's going to be $616.8 billion. This is the answer for B part. Okay, now for number 9. Number 9 is also we're trying to find an exponential function. And again, I always say this, but this is like true. I got this question during the time of COVID, right? We came out with I was showing students how to get exponential functions. And since this was during COVID, when I was covering this chapter, so I made this one up. Okay, it says a deadly virus has infected the world. At the end of January, there were 2 cases, and by the end of April, the cases had grown to 128. So for A part, find a model of the form f of t equals to y naught b to the t power, with t equals 0 corresponding to the end of the month of January. And if the trend continues, about how many people will be infected by the end of the year. Okay, so here's my solution. Need to find y naught and b, right? And that'll be my and plug them into the function, and that'll be the model that we're looking for. Here, guys, it says at the end of January there were 2 cases, so this is my initial value. Will be will be 2. So y naught is 2. That's my initial value because no time has passed. Now, right, so how do we go from the end of January to the end of April, right? So it's going to be t equals 1 corresponds to the end of February, t equals 2 corresponds to the end of March, and t equals 3 corresponds to the end of April, right? But you can go straight from here to here, but counting with your fingers or in your head. But here, guys, I show you because most of us are visual, so I just show you why the next point that we're looking for will be 328. See, 328. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to plug in 128 for f of t. I'm going to plug in 2 for y naught, and then I'm going to plug in 3 for the exponent for t. Okay, now all I do is solve for b. Divide both sides by 2. So it'll give us 64 equals to b to the third power. Now I'm going to raise both sides to the 1/3 power. Because here, guys, if we apply the exponent power rule, a power to a power, we multiply the power, so this will give us 1. That's what we want to do, is find solve for b. So 64 to the 1/3 power will give us 4. So my b is equal to 4. I already found my y naught and my b, right? So now we plug it into the formula. So this is the formula for part A. F of t equals to 4 to the t power. Right? Now for part B, but in the year, right, from January to December, it's going to be 11 months. So that's why we do it this right, where t equals 1 corresponds to the end of February and so forth. At the end of December, it's going to be 11. So now we evaluate f of 11, which means I'm going to plug in 11 for the TS. And put it in the calculator, guys. So this is my result. So there'll be approximately about 8,388,608 people being infected. This would have been more or less true without intervention, but during COVID there was intervention by washing hands, social distance, and wearing masks and all that stuff. That's why it wasn't really that many people, but there was a lot. Throughout the world, but not that many here in the U.S. Okay. Now number 10. This is, I believe, from chapter 5, the finance problems. It says Gabriel invested his summer earnings of $3,000 in a savings account for college. The account pays 1.5 simple interest. What will be the value of this account after 2 years, and how much interest did he earn? Here, guys, the key word is simple interest, right? So which means this will be the formula. Again, the key word is simple interest. So I need to find the future value, the present value, the interest rate, and my time. So here, guys, what are we looking for? It says what will be the value of the account after 2 years. So we're looking for the future value. So the present value will be the 3,000. My interest rate, R, will be 1.5%. And my T will be 2. Right? So plug them into the formula. And put it into the calculator. And we get something like $3,090. So that's my future value. Now for the interest, right, for the second part, how much interest did he earn? The interest earned is equal to the future value minus the present value. So the future value was 3,090 minus the present value was the 3,000, which means the interest earned was $90. So the value of the account after 2 years is $3,090. How much interest did he earn is $90. Here's the answers for both parts. Number 11. Now here, if you deposit $9,000 in an account at your bank that pays 2.5% interest semi-annually, how much money will be in your account after 10 years, and how much interest did you earn? Because for this one, it's called compound interest. How do I know that? Because here's a key word that pays semi-annually. So this is a compound interest. But most of the times, the word compound will be in the problem. But in this case, this is not. But this is the formula for the compound interest problem, guys. But it's easier to use this one. The second one, because my RM is my I, and my M times T will be my N. Right? Easier to input in the calculator. So here we have to find 7 things, right? So let's see what we're looking for. Well, we're looking for how much money will be in the account after 10 years. So we're looking for the future value. So the present value, the money invested, will be the 9,000. My interest rate will be 2.5%. Converted to a decimal will be 0.025. My M, my compounded, my M will be how many times it's compounded is semi-annually, which will be 2. My T in years will be 10. My I will be R divided by M, so it will be 0.025 divided by 2. Will give us 0.0125. And my N will be m times t. So it'll be 2 times 10 will give us 20. So we do now that we have every variable here, so we put them into the formula. Right, so it'll be 9,000, 1 plus 0.0125 to the power of 20. We use a calculator, and this is a result. It's going to be 11,538 and 34 cents, right? Because we round up to the nearest penny. So the 33, right? The 3 here on the hundreds place is my penny. So we're going to go to the thousands place. Since if this is 5 or more, we add 1 here, which would be 4. So it's going to be $11,538.34 after 10 years. So how much interest did you earn? Again, this is similar to the other problem to the previous problem. So the interest earned will be future value minus present value. My future value is what we just got right now, the 11,538.34. Minus the present value was how much was invested at the beginning, which was 9,000. So the interest earned is $2,538.34. That's the answer for this, for the second part. Okay, now number 12. Number 12, it says 200-seat theater charges $8 for adults and $5 for children. If all seats were filled and the total income was $1,435, how many adults and how many children were in the audience? So this, we're going to be solving the systems of equations on this one. So from the given info, we're gonna come up with 2 equations. Okay. So now, here's like I mentioned to my students, we're gonna have people with people or seats with seats and money with money. So it's gonna be so we're gonna let X be my adult tickets or the seats, and Y be my children's seats, right? And there are 200 seats. So it's going to be X plus Y equals to 200. That's my equation number 1. Now here we're going to do money with money, right? So the adult tickets are $8, and X represents adults, so this is going to give us 8X. The children's tickets are $5, and since Y represents children's seats, that's going to give us 5Y. And the total income, right, the money with money will be 1,435. So that's going to be 1,435. So now we put them together. So this becomes 8X plus 5Y equals to 1,435. So I found both equations. Now you can solve them by substitution or by the elimination method. In my opinion, it's easier to solve it by the elimination method. Here, you can do it. You have to get rid of the x's or the y's, one or the other, it doesn't matter. I believe in this case, I'm going to get rid of the x's. So equation 1, I need to multiply it by -8. Why -8? Because -8 times x will give us -8x. And if we add them together, the x's will cancel. They'll be eliminated. So after multiplying -8 times every term here on the first equation is going to give us -8x minus 8y equals to -1600. And then equation 2, we just bring it over, and then now we're going to add them. The x's are eliminated, so -8y plus 5y will give us -3y, and -1600 plus 1435 will give us -165. We divide both sides by -3, so y equals to 55. Now we need to find the x value. We can plug in 55 to either equation 1 or 2. Equation 1 seems a lot easier, so we're going to use, that's what I'm going to use. So we're going to plug in 55 for y and solve for x. Subtract 55 from both sides. So x equals to 145. But what are we looking for? They're looking for how many adults and how many children are in the audience. Okay, so then here, since x represents adults, it's going to be 145 adults and 55 children. This is the answer that you're looking for. Now this is a linear equations. Okay. So in this one, this is a three equations with x, y, and z. I have a plan, and I believe I did this on weeks number 7 or number 8. So I'm going to get equations 1 and 2 and eliminate the x's. And then I'm going to get equation 1 and 3 and also eliminate the x's. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to multiply equation 1 by -2. Now I'm going to multiply -2 times every term in equation 1. That will give us -2x plus 6y minus 4z equals 0. Now equation number 2, we just bring it over. Now the x's get eliminated. So we got 4y minus 3z equals to 3. That's my new equation 2. Now I'm going to repeat the process, but using equations 1 and equations 3, and also to eliminate the x's. So equation 1, I'm going to multiply by -3. -3 times every term will give us -3x plus 9y minus 6z equals to 0. And equation number 3, we just slide it over. We combine them, so the x's will be eliminated. This will give us 10y minus 7z equals to 7. That'll be my new equation number 3. Now I'm going to get equation 2, the new equation 2 and the new equation 3, and eliminate the y's. Which means equation 1, I need to multiply by -10, and equation 2, I need to multiply by 4. At times, here, right, you can also use the least common multiple between 4 and 10, which means this would have been 20, right? But at times, students, they don't know how to find that, so that's why I just tell them to multiply. The coefficient on the third equation by the first equation, and the coefficient on the first equation by the second equation. But since they're both positive, one has to be negative. So I chose to multiply by -10 on the second equation and 4 on the third equation. This will guarantee me that the y's will be eliminated, because -10 times every term in equation 2 will give us -40y plus 30z equals to -30. And 4 times every term in equation 3 will give us 40y minus 28z equals to 28. Now we add them. So we get 2z equals to -2. We divide both sides by 2. So I found the value for z. Z is equal to -1. Now I'm going to go back and substitute. Okay, I'm going to keep equation 1. Here for equation 2, you can keep either equation 2 or the new equation 3. But I just kept it. I just kept the new equation 2, and then we have z equals to -1. Now here is where I'm going to go back and substitute -1 for the z in equation number 2. Right? Then this will give us 4y plus 3 equals to 3. We subtract 3 from both sides. So for y equals 0, we solve for y by dividing 4 to both sides. So y equals to 0. So I already have my y and I already have my z. Now I'm going to go to equation 1 and plug in 0 for y and -1 for z, and just simplify. So I get x minus 2 equals 0. We add 2 to both sides. So x equals to 2. So this is my solution. 2, 0, -1 is my solution where they all intersect. Okay. Okay, now we're going to multiply matrix. Say they give you matrix A and matrix B. Matrix A is a 2 by 3 matrix, and matrix B is a 2 by 2. So in order for you to multiply the matrix, right, the two in the middle must be the same, right? So here, matrix B is a 2 by 2 and matrix A is a 2 by 3, so, right? So these have to match, which they do. That means, yes, we can do it. And the answer will be, the outer, it will be a 2 by 3. Okay, so let's do it then. So this is matrix B times matrix A. So I'm going to multiply the first row times every column. So I first start by multiplying the first row times the first column. So I'm going to multiply 1 times 2 is 2. And 0 plus 0 times 4, that will give us 2 plus 0 will give us 2. So the 2 goes on the first row, first column. Now step 2. I'll repeat the process, but instead of multiplying it by the first column, I'm going to multiply it by the second column now. So it's going to be 1 times 0 plus 0 times negative 2. It's going to give us 0 plus 0. The answer is 0. So the 0 goes on the first row, second column. Now comes step 3. I'm going to multiply the first row times the last column, which will be in red. So 1 times 5 plus 0 times negative 3 is going to give us 5 plus 0. The answer is 5. So the 5 goes on the first row, third column. Since we're done, right, by multiplying the first row times every column, now we're going to multiply the second row times every column. That's why the second row is in blue now. Now we repeat the process again, but instead of multiplying, we're going to be multiplying the second row times every column. Let's start with the first column, which will be in red. So 4 times 2 plus negative 2 times 4. It will give us 8. Minus 8 will give us 0. So the 0 goes on the second column. Second row, first column. Now comes step 5. We're going to multiply the second row times the second column. 4 times 0 plus negative 2 times negative 2. The answer will be 0 plus 4. The answer is 4. So the 4 goes on the second row, second column. Now finally, we have one more column to multiply by, right? So it's going to be the second row times the third column. So 4 times 5 plus negative 2 times negative 3 is going to give us 20 plus 6. The answer is 26. So there's my solution. The answer will be 2050426. Now we're doing sets. I believe this is chapter 8. So use the given information to find the following. Here, guys, they give you that the universal set contains the elements A, B, C, D, E, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The set X contains the elements A, B, 1, 2, 3. The set Y contains the elements B, D, 1, 3, 5. And the set Z contains the elements B, 2, 3. List the members of each of the given sets using set braces. So here, guys, right, we're going to need the X and complement of X. So if this is X, the complement of X means not those, okay? For example, it's going to be not A. I'm going to scratch it out. Not A means not A, not B, not 1, 2, 3. So this is what's left. I'll repeat. You're going to go to the universal set. The X complement means not A, not B, not 1, not 2, not 3, and whatever's left was C, D, E, 4, 5. That's the answer for complement of X. Now for the complement of Y, right? The Y is B, D, 1, 3, 5. So we're going to go to the universal set. It's not going to be B, nor D, nor 1, nor 3, nor 5. So what's left is A, C, E, 2, 4. Now this is my set Z, right? Now let's do first the A part means intersection, or X and Y means intersection. But like I tell my students, what do they have in common? So let's go to X and Y here. Do they have in common an A? No. A B, yes, they have in common a B. A 1, they also have in common a 1. A 2, no. A 3, yes. So this is my answer. B1, 3. That means intersection. For B part, X union Y, or X, or this means X or Y, or X union Y. The way I tell my students is that you're going to write them all down, but you don't repeat them. So I first start with a set X. So I'm going to put everything in X. Now I'm going to go to Y. Okay, what's over here? If the element is already there, I don't write it again. For example, is a B there? Yes, already there, so I don't put it again. Is a D there? No, so the D goes there. The 1, is it there already? Yes, it is there. The 3, it's already there. The 5 is missing, so we have to include the 5. Now you put them in order. Hey guys, but these two sets are equal, so you don't have to put them in order if you don't want to. But in back of the book or in my math lab, they put them in order. But if you put this as the answer, not in order, it's still correct because these are called equal sets. So they're equal. So it doesn't matter if the order is not in alphabetical order, and with the digits going from lower to upper. Now the for C part, the x naught, I already did it here on the right side. So my x naught would just be C, D, E, 4, 5. Now they're using the x naught and y naught or x complement and y complement, right? This means what they have in common or intersection. So let's go over here on the right side. Do they have in common a C? Yes. How about a D? Not a D. How about an E? Yes, they have in common an E. How about a 4? Yes, they have in common a 4. A 5? No. So that's my solution. CE 4. Now let's do the complement of x intersects z. Let's go here on the right side. So where does x naught or x complement and z intersect? Do they have a C? No C. A D? No. An E? No, it's not there. A 4 or a 5? No. So this means they don't have nothing in common, which means it's the empty set. That's your solution. Okay. So these two mean the same thing, means empty set. It's either this one or this one. You cannot put the empty set with the symbol right inside the bracket because it's wrong. It's either one or the other. Now this is number 16. Here they want you to draw a Venn diagram, and then you have to answer these questions. But first, this is the info given, and you're gonna draw a Venn diagram, and from the Venn diagram, you answer the questions. Okay, so let's start. It says here there's 60 people, right? 60 people means that the universal set will be 60. Now let's see, right here we have, let C be comedies, let D be dramas, and let S be the science fiction. And here, guys, I label the C, the set C, the set D, and the set S. So in this case, we're going to start where all three intersect. That's why this is in red. This is where you start. Which is right, which is this part here is where all three sets intersect. So that's going to be my 6. Now it says 13 people like comedies and dramas. So now I'm going to go to comedies and dramas where they intersect. So C and D intersects is right this portion here. Right, is equal to 13. Since we already have a 6 here, so this little portion here will be 7, because this must be 13 all together. Now comes C intersects S. So now we're talking about C and S, right? So we're talking about this side here, this place here where they intersect. But the answer they're looking for is this part here. So the whole thing is supposed to be 10, where they both intersect. We already got 6, so this has to be a 4. The 4 goes there. Now we're going to do dramas and science fiction, the same thing where they intersect. So let's see, dramas and science fiction. So we're talking about this area here. So this must be 11, I already got 6, so this has to be a 5. Now, it says 26 people like comedy. So all this here, guys, all the C must be 26. So I already got 4, 6, and 7, so I already got 17. So the number that goes here is 9. Now let's see here, 21 people like dramas. So dramas will be this circle here, this set here. Right, it's 21. I already got 11 plus 7 is 18. So this portion here will be 3. And finally, the science fiction, there's 25 people that like science fiction. So all this area here, this set has to be the science fiction. I already got 4, 6, and 5, which is 15. So this area here has to be 10. Okay, now we have to make sure that all this is equal to 60, right? If not, that means that whatever is not 60 will be here on the outside, where the x is. X equals to whatever that is. So I'm going to add all these numbers here. I'm going to add them and subtract it from 60. So we got 9 plus 7 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus 5 plus 10, which is all the numbers here on the sets, will give us 44. So then what goes in the outside will be 60 minus 44 will give us 16. So this is the answer for A part, the Venn diagram. Now for B, well, let me go back real quick. For B part, it's saying how many people surveyed like comedies, but neither drama nor science fiction, right? So let's go to comedies, right? They like comedies, which is here. But they didn't like what is it? They didn't like neither dramas nor science fiction, so they like comedies, but they didn't like these right here. So the answer is 9, because they didn't like these. That's where 9 comes from, it's bouncing. Now for C part, how many people surveyed like dramas and science fiction? So let's go to dramas and science fiction. So we're talking about this part here, all these here, right? But not comedies. So they're talking about these two, the science fiction and dramas, right? But not comedy, so it means not these. So the answer will be 10 plus 5 plus 3 will give us 18. So the answer will be 18. And for D part, how many people like none of the movies is what's in the outside. It's in the Venn diagram, but it's in the outside of the set, which is 16. That's how you draw a Venn diagram to answer particular questions. Now number 17 is probabilities. It says a single playing card is drawn at random from an ordinary 52 card deck. Find the probability of the drawing. So, right, so these are the cards. There's going to be 13, there's a total of 52. There's 13 clubs, 13 spades, 13 hearts, and 13 diamonds. That's where the 52 cards come from. If you notice, there's going to be 13 in each suit, so it's going to be 26 black and 26 red, right? Half of them are black, half of them are red. Also, they have 3 face cards. Each suit has 3 face cards. What are the face cards? Well, they're the cards that have a face on them. You see, all 4 suits have 3 face cards. Okay, now, so when they're asking for probability, this is a formula that you use. P of E equals to N of E over N of S. So let's do A part. Here the sample space is 52, right? Because that's my total. That's the sample space is 52. So for a queen, isn't there 4 queens? Because there's 1 queen on each suit. So it'll be 4 divided by 52, which will give us 1 over 13. That's the answer for A part. For B part, a diamond, right? We know there's 13 diamonds, so it'll be 13 over over 52. The answer will give us, what, 1/4. A red card, right? We know there's 26 red cards, which I have. So 26 divided by 52 will give us 1/2. And D, is this a face card or an ace? How many face cards are there? There's 3, right? There's 3 for each suit. So there's 3, 6, 9, and 12. So there'll be 12. 12 face cards. And how many aces? There's 1 ace on each suit. So it's going to be 4 aces. You see the ace of diamonds, the ace of hearts, the ace of spades, and the ace of clovers. So it's going to be plus 4. All over 52, which is my sample space. We reduce it to 4 over 13. This is the answer. The ones in green, guys, are my answers. Anyway, that's how we do probabilities. Number 18. It says, suppose 2 for dice are rolled. Find the given probability. The sum is 11, or the second die shows a 5. So here, we're going to use a formula here, guys, all right? Again, my sample space is 36. Why? Because there's 36 possible combinations. There's 6 across and 6 down, so 6 times 6 is 36. That's my formula. The word or means that we're looking for union, right? Sum is 11, or the sum is 11, or the second die shows a 5. So for the sum is 11, we're going to let A be the event. The sum is 11, so the sum is 11 will be these here, these 2 here. So it's going to be 2 of them. So N of A equals 2. Now we're going to let B represent that the second die is a 5, right? So the second die is a 5 will be this one here, all these right here. The second die is a 5. There's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4. There's going to be 6. So N of B is equal to 6. Now for the intersection, what does A and B have in common? Right, these 2 have in common will be this one here. So it's going to be 1. So now let's plug them into the formula. So the probability of A will be 2 over 36. The probability of B will be 6 over 36. Minus the probability of A intersects B will be 1 over 36. So the answer will be 8 minus 1 is 7. So the answer will be 7 over 36. That's the probability for this event to take place. Number 19. Okay. This is the various ways of counting. Okay. I believe this is from chapter 9. For many years, the state of California used 3 letters followed by 3 digits on its automobile license plates. So how many ways can this be done? Hey, for how many different license plates are possible with this arrangement, right? So let's do this. These are my 3 letters, right? Is first, followed by 3 digits. Here, guys, right? They didn't say nothing about any replacing or any restrictions, right? So how many letters are in the alphabet? 26. So it'll be 26 times 26 times 26. And for the digit, it will be 10 times 10 times 10. That's the answer for A part, right? Multiply them out, and that's the answer. 17,476,000 different arrangements. Now for part B. Several years ago, the number described in part A were all used up. The state then issued plates with 1 letter, followed by 3 digits, and then 3 letters. So this is my 1 letter, followed by 3 digits. So these are my digits, followed by 3 letters. So then this will be again 26, 10 times 10 times 10 because there's no restriction, and 26 times 26 times 26. Use your calculator. You're going to get something like 456,576,000. That's how many ways or how many arrangements this can be done. Number 20, we're going to be using, it's going to be, for the next 3, I believe we have 3 more. For the next 3, we're going to be using permutations and combinations. These are the clue words for permutations: arrangement, schedule, order, and order matters. And for combinations, it's going to be group, committee, set, sample, and order does not matter are the clue words for combination. So now, it says a lottery game requires that you pick 6 different, I forgot to put here numbers, 6 different numbers from 1 to 99. If you pick all winning numbers, you win $4 million. Okay? How many ways are there to choose 6 numbers if the order is not important? So if order is not important, it's going to be combination. Okay? So it's going to be 99 combination 6. This is a formula, guys, or you can plug into the calculator. So this is the answer they should give you. What is it? 1,120,429,256. Now for B part, order matters is going to be a permutation because order matters. It's going to be 99 permutation 6, and the solution will be 806,781,064,320. Okay. So here, guys, what you have to know are the keywords to see which ones you're going to be using. Number 21. If you pick 5 out of 6 numbers correctly, you win $5,000. And how many ways can you pick exactly 5 out of 6 winning numbers without regarding order? So this is going to be a combination. Okay, now here's my solution, right? So we have to pick, let's see, 5 out of 6 numbers correctly. There's going to be 6 combination 5. But remember, right, the lottery requires to pick 6 numbers. Right, so then these are the winning numbers, 5 out of the 6 winning numbers, so that's why it's 6 combination 5. Now this means, right, these are the numbers chosen, and I mean those were already chosen, there's 93 left. That's why it's going to be times 93 combination 1. If you notice, the outside numbers must equal to 99, right? Because there's 99 numbers. And these are the numbers to win, right? 6 numbers to win. That's why the outer ones are the ones that I mean it has to equal to 6. Okay. So now we do 6 combination 5, times 93 combination 1, it will give us 6 times 93. The answer will be 558 different orders. Now, I believe this is the last one. It says a financial advisor offers 8 mutual funds in high risk category, 7 in moderate risk category, and 10 in low risk category. An investor decides to invest 3 in high risk, 4 moderate risk, and 3 in low risk. How many ways can the investor do this? Okay, so this is kind of simple, guys. It's going to be a combination. So we're going to do right from the 8 high risk, they want to choose 3. So it's going to be 8 combination 3. From the moderate risk, right there's 7, and they want to use 4. So it's going to be 7 combination 4. And from the low risk, they have 10, but we want to choose 3. It's going to be 10 combination 3. Right, so 8 combination 3 will give us 56. 7 combination 4 will give us 35, and 10 combination 3 will give us 120. These, you can put it in the calculator, but if you don't know, guys, there's a formula you can follow, okay? But anyway, we multiply them out, 56 times 35 times 120, and it gives us a result, which is 235,200. So the investor has 235,200 ways to select the funds. I repeat, has 235,200 ways to select the funds. That's the answer for this problem. And I believe this is it for this PowerPoint. I try to include problems that I have in my exam, and I believe other instructors have similar problems too. Hopefully this video or this PowerPoint was helpful. I want to thank you for joining. Let me go back here. Thank you for joining today's final happy hour for the semester. And let me take you back to our host.
Thank you, Mr. Sassi, for your presentation. Thank you, sir. We do want to remind everybody about the previously recorded sessions, which are available on our YouTube playlist. This session will be available on that playlist later today. Also linked was a short survey to help us improve our TVE sessions. So if you can just please take a few minutes to complete that survey. And I just want to share the last TVE session for the semester. So at 1 p.m. today, we will have our last TVE presentation by the Children's Program at the Northwest Library. Thank you all for coming in today. We hope you all have a lovely weekend, and the TVE team want to wish you the best of luck on finals. If you have any questions, feel free to use the chat box or your mic. Again, good luck on your finals, and we hope to see you all again for our TVE sessions this summer.